Yo, what's up? So today, I went to go see Blackkklansman, and it's one of my few movie reviews. And let me give a shout out to Spike Lee. He came back strong, and Jordan Peele, who did Get Out, and also to John David Washington, Denzel's son. He don't have to longer be in his daddy's shadows. Now he sounds like him with his tone, but his acting job was spot on. I really enjoyed this movie. It was about the true story of Ron Stallworth, black cop in Colorado who started off in the 70s, and he was with a racist police force, and it let everything that you see now happen in, and it was even 100 times worse. And he infiltrates the Ku Klux Klan. He portrays being a white guy, and using your white voice. And he even meets up with the Grand Wizard himself, David Duke, who, by the way, happens to be, Trump's payroll, racist Donald Trump. So the apple don't fall from the tree when you think about Charlottesville last year, because all that stuff kicks in. And David Duke's been some turkey that I didn't remember since I was a little kid. I mean, he's one of the first faces I remember seeing. That evil just gets older and it never changes. It's the same old thing. But anyway, this movie really has a good pacing to it. It tells a very strong story, very compelling. Racism is very blatant, obvious. Strong writing, great pacing. Love the whole concept. It's sad. It makes you feel like, wow, have things changed at all? Because a lot of times, not really. When them haters in there, that Ku Klux Klan was up there supporting Richard Nixon, and you figure now that you're stuck with a racist like Donald Trump, you're like, man, what has happened? So it's very timely movie, very. And it deals with, the separatism that you deal with in America and what you deal with being black in America, because it's definitely changed, and there's definitely a chokehold on how the denial is real, and the racism is very, very, very much venom. So it's a very powerful movie. I don't want to spoil a lot of it. I recommend people go see it. It's very educational. I recommend this as a history lesson, because people who aren't going to have any access to, hearing about this, you'd have to see it to believe it. I had heard about this when I was a kid, and then I actually see that it finally came to fruition. It's wonderful. The end of the movie, Prince's cover of "Mary Don't You Weep" was very moving. The Prince Rogers Nelson estate gave it to Spike Lee, and it was very moving. So it was a good, strong ending about how that ended. And but the whole thing with the Charlottesville footage and how it ties in, and racist Donald Trump's denial about the neo-Nazi and alternative white is very strong. And it shows you about police brutality and the killings and why these guns need to be banned. And this is just a very strong movie. And John David Washington should get Oscar nomination. Spike and Jordan Peele should get love too. The whole cast was on point. Great movie. Very strong and a must-see. Educated. And it shows you how the Klan, what they're about. They ain't worth nothing, but they're honest about their racism. And I will say this about the Klan. Probably the most honest white people you encounter, because at least they tell you that they don't like you and how they feel about black folks. Better than some of these turkeys who be walking around here acting and smiling in your face and dagger you in your back. So the Klan in that regard stays honest about how they really feel, because you don't get the honesty in the real time. But anyway, that's a must-see movie. Blackkklansman. Much respect to Ron Stallworth. That's a movie worth seeing. That was deep. Peace.